Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing mono blue control with no reserve list cards. You can build this entire deck for a few $100s, and it is awesome. This card, Astrologian's Planosphere, is the real deal. It comes down for one colorless and one blue and just really takes over the game. It hits for so much, and it gets so big so quickly. And so even if the creature that comes with it gets removed, you got several other creatures you can move this equipment over to, which will also get larger, such as your 4 Murktide and your 4 Brazen Borrowers. Yes, since this is a mono blue deck, we are leaning a little bit heavier on bounce than we would normally if we had white or black in the deck. We do technically have black in the deck in Dismember. This card never should have been printed, frankly. It breaks the color wheel, but we are going to abuse the fact that it was printed, and we're going to have removal in mono blue. We also can steal our opponents' flip Tamios. We can steal lots of really spicy creatures like flip Delvers, Dragon's Rage Channelers, Elvish Reclaimers. Lots of good things that this can steal from your opponent. And it can also counter a spell, or it can draw 2 cards, which double triggers Astrologian's Planosphere. We've got 4 Spell Pierce to help with anti-combo matchups, and we can keep those live late into the game with our Back to Basics, which does not affect us significantly. We have a single Mystic Sanctuary that's our only non-basic in the entire deck, so we can just not fetch it if we have Back to Basics out. And then we are just going to post-board bring in Dress Down against decks that have lots of ETB triggers. We can also bring in Torpor Orb, which completely shuts down a deck like Death and Taxes. We've got 3 Force of Negations and 4 Grafdigger's Cage. I'm recording this before the ban announcement on June 30th. I do expect Oops All Spells to not be a deck after that, but until then, I'm going to be prepared. And we have 4 Hydroblasts. These are really good because red decks, you need removal. A lot of times they'll go wide, and Hydroblast answers just everything. This card is insane against red decks, and I think we need it with Painter in the format where they have all these blasts that answer literally everything we're doing. So that's the deck. We're going to play a full 5 rounds. As always, see you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a likely lands gamer. I don't like this hand. Double Dismember. They don't even have any creatures in their deck. I'm going to mulligan this. Looking for more lands. This hand's much better. I like Astrologian's Planosphere. I think the card we put back is probably Archmage Charm. This can't take something that our opponent is doing, but it's slow. I think we keep this and we put that back. So a previous iteration of this deck had a bunch of True Name Nemesis, which would be really good against lands. We'll see if our opponent's actually on lands. That's a lands card. I'm going to let it resolve. What do you even force here? Crop Rotation, Life from the Loam, Malevolent Rumble. They got the 4 Explorations. I'm not going to force a Mox. They discard Boseiju. Another Mox. If they have the Life from the Loam, I may just concede because we're going to lose. There's Tabernacle. So the fact that they can just keep getting back Boseiju and wrecking my Astrologian's Planosphere, I think we can see. Yeah, and that may seem extreme, but like they had like an insane start. Okay, so post board, we're going to bring in Force Negations, Dress Downs. So our opponent doesn't know what we're doing at all. All they know is we mulliganed. So we can take out the Dismembers. Back to Basics is really strong here. Think we can just cut one of these Archmage Charms. Well, Archmage Charm can steal non-land permanent. So we can't actually steal the Urza Saga, but we can steal the Construct and use it to chump. I think I'm going to take out just a Spell Pierce. No, I'll take out an Archmage Charm. Spell Pierce, we got to consider how are we going to get through the early game. So because Oops All Spells is the deck that everybody's trying to stop, we don't have access to Surgical in our graveyard because it doesn't stop Oops All Spells, so I'm just playing Grafdigger's Cage. But Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do anything against lands, unfortunately. One thing that I'm really positive about here is the fact that we have 4 Brazen Borrowers. All their win cons are token-based. So we can seriously slow them down with this. All right, hopefully we get a functional hand. This is fine. It's not everything I'd ever asked for, but like the fact that we have stuff that we can do. Like I'm going to ponder here and try to hit a Force Negation. Force Negation is better because it exiles the Loam, and if you stop the Loam, you stop their deck. They can still win, but that's what kind of breaks parity and gives them superpowers, the fact that they can keep replaying lands. So this deck is listed as about $6,600. So can our $600 deck beat their $6,000 deck? Island, Ponder, Classic Start. Now our opponent knows what we're on. Astrologian, Planosphere with Brainstorm is a combo. I think we keep it. We don't want that island, so we'll shuffle that away. But I will take this Astrologian Planosphere here. And they do have Boseiju, but Boseiju just kills the artifact. It doesn't kill the creature. So if we can get some counters on it, it's still a game piece. Also, they ramp us. That's kind of like beneficial. Let's just hope they don't have multi-Mox Diamond into Life from the Loam hand. That's really the dream if you're playing lands, is Mox Diamond into Loam. All right, are we going to get Mox Diamond into Loam again? Tabernacle. Exploration. Okay, it's not Loam. Urza Saga. Is there a Loam too? Expedition map. Okay, that's not Loam. All right, we can still fight through this. It's not going to be easy. So I'm going to go ahead and just get Island. And I'll go Astrologian. I guess I should say Planosphere is the noun. Astrologian is the modifier of the noun. So I'll just call it a Planosphere from now on. It always drives me crazy when people say, oh, I'm going to Shieldred's. Shieldred's what? What's the noun? Edict. Okay. Next turn, we could take one of their permanents if we wanted to with Archmage Charm. If they do find a Loam, we could take their Exploration. Okay, they have Stage Depths. Oh, wow. Gosh, what a freaking nutty hand. That was a Molda 6. I mean, technically we can take Dark Depths at instant speed. I'm here for that. I never thought about that, but yeah, let's do that. Brazen Borrower, second form of interaction here. Just going to pass, see if they make it. They will have to maze. I think they're going to make it. No, they're just going to make a dude. That's fine. Everything will be okay if we can steal their Dark Depths Merit Lage token. All right. What are they getting here? Lava Spur Boots. I'm going to wait till the Lava Spur Boots activation is on the stack. Oh, no. You know what? They probably have a freaking crop rotation. They started to do something else. If they have a crop rotation, it totally screws us. Because they can go get the protection thing. I don't know. Does this actually still become equipped? No, I guess not. You can't equip your opponent's creatures. Don't Loam. Okay. They're probably going to get a Maze of Ith. Karakas. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't have any pretension of actually being able to kill them with this. That would have been sweet, though. Yeah, I'll just let it come through. All right, so I'm going to start with the Brainstorm. This will double buff my hero here. She's getting stacked. Okay, back to basics. Love it. I think we put a Murktide back. He can chill. Okay. And then, so this is big. I'm going to go ahead and back to basics them. This buffs further. 5/5 now. I mean, they could still equip and start attacking. I'm going to swing in. Their Boseiju is already on the table. That's the main thing they use to get rid of back to basics. They may play 2 or 3. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just pay extra when I bounce it out of existence next turn. Further buffing my creature. I'll play that out. Let's just do this now before combat. I'll pay the 1 extra here. Okay, and they scoop to that. Archmage Charm. We're not going to get to do that again. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent was boarding out their Dark Depths right now. They don't know that I have 4 of them. And I made the mistake of boarding one out. Get back in here, Archmage Charm. You are staying. I will never board you out against lands again. All right, we're going to go back in. Yeah, I think Spell Pierce is the swap. Especially on the draw. All right, let's take a look at this hand. This is another Archmage Charm hand. I think I keep this. It's got lands. It's got a Planosphere. Now, we don't have an answer to them just nut drawing, which is a very real risk against lands. Any Mox Diamond deck, like with Loam in it, they can just explode and get so much card advantage. Maze to the yard. Boseiju. It's not the worst at the Loam here, but it still sucks. Malevolent Rumble. Okay, that's not as bad. Let's see if they find Loam. Boseiju and Dark Depth, Dismember, Wasteland. Okay. None of those are terrible for us. Dismember. All right. So that tells me they probably don't have Loam, which is huge. So we're just going to Island Ponder here. Try to find a Force of Negation. The card they took there, by the way, was Boseiju. So they have a redundant Boseiju. A lot of these lands decks play like 3 of them. It's such a good card. It's just like an insane card. So Brazen Borrower this is more of the same. I think we try to high roll into Force Negation. All right, land number 3, not the worst. And again, like I think it's fine to aspire to more. Okay, don't loan me. Oh, another Rumble. Let's see. They did not find it. They found a Dark Depths. So they just found more redundant Dark Depths. They're still digging for the loam. We're so lucky that they missed it. At this point, they've seen 16 cards. Don't loam. They had it. Oh, brutal. Yeah, I think we'd lose from here. They don't have any acceleration. Like, they don't have an exploration yet, but it's rough. So their hand is Dark Depths, Maze. They grow to Wasteland, which doesn't do anything against our deck, but it is a mana source. Okay, so that's their hand plus 3 unknowns. I would not be sad to get it. Oh, we got it. That's great. Okay, so what we're going to do here is they're almost certainly just going to hit this, but I'll live. We'll ramp. We need the mana. So we'll play this out. We've got Force Negation for when they loam again. They don't have a win con, I don't think. With Archmage Charm, Dark Depths becomes an unreliable win con. They really have to win through taking over the game and then winning on Urza Saga, I think. I think this is a favorable matchup for us. Just on the strength of us having Dress Down and Force Negations and everything. Having so many Brazen Borrowers for their win cons. Like, Brazen Borrower answers literally every win con in their deck. Tabernacle is annoying. We'll survive. Okay. We have tons of clock. That's the important thing when Tabernacle comes out. Pay for it. Now we're looking for lands. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I think I'll just save this. Well, let's brainstorm first. Because we definitely want to brainstorm and we might want to shuffle some stuff away. And just like that, we've turned our creature into a 3/3. Not bad at all. Yeah, I think there's more lands than we need. I'm going to put back the island and... I don't want to put 2 lands back. I feel like that'd be greedy. I'll just put back one of these mercs. Okay. She's bigger. Now we can come in for a hug. And I'm not going to, just in case they fire off of a Seiju at us, I'm not going to shuffle this. Because I might be able to use this shuffle later. And like, the Seiju gives us a land and gives us a shuffle effect. Okay, they have to chump. That's fine with me. Let's pass. So we are going to force a negate, pitching Merc. Stage. They do have the Depths combo next turn. Alright, so I'll just upkeep this fetch. They may be waiting for me to pay. And then they hit it. The creature actually stays. Alright, the simple thing to do... I do need to keep Archmage Charm up. I'm just going to be patient here. Keep playing out lands. And then next turn, I have the mana to both Archmage Charm and have Brazen Borrower up. Or, I'm sorry, to Astrologians and have Brazen Borrower up. But like the way we lose this is we get impatient and they get something through. This is fun. I don't have Wastelands in my deck. It doesn't really... what they're doing is they're Wasteland proofing their card. They've been taking organic draws, which may be a mistake because they could have like loamed a bunch of stuff back by now. Maybe they realized that like the loam is not the gating issue. The issue is that they can only play 1 land per turn until they find exploration. But I am happy that they just discarded the land there. Okay, so options. One, we could just borrow one of these lands back to their hand for momentum. That does buff this. I think I'm just going to chill. Best draw would probably be a land. Okay, Force is not bad. So now I can do the Astrologian, which triggers the other one. And I still have Brazen Borrower up. Yeah, they just untap it. That's fine. So next turn, like we can basically just treat it like these 2 islands are permanently tapped due to Tabernacle. They're just copying their maze. That's fine. That is not a path to victory. That is just buying time. Okay, Dark Depths. Okay, land is great. They're doing it. Please blow up something on my side. What is this? This is a lot of mana. Oh, Force of Vigor? I think I just forced back. I'll pitch a Merc. This grows both my creatures. Doesn't really matter because they are going to be hit. Okay, and they pitch... What do they pitch for that? They just pitch nothing because they paid mana. Okay, so we'll play our land out. Let's go to attack. Just keep them honest. They still aren't loaming? Okay. Rumble's fine. They found a Twin Shot Sniper. They can choose that. That's not a good card, though. They chose Twin Shot. It's not a big deal here. If they want to, like, do that, I can just respond by making my creature tougher. 2 damage to any target. This is an opportunity for me to just... Do we want to Archmage Charm here and take one of their Moxes? Maybe I just draw 2 cards. So they would need to make it and play out the... I mean, there is a risk that they have exactly... what's it called in their hand? Okay, so we got the island. I am going to go ahead and just Archmage Charm and draw a couple cards. The exact risk is that they have exactly... what's it called in their hand? That... yeah, I'm just going to draw 2 cards. So this buffs my dudes, my dudettes. If they have exactly Lava Spur Boots, if I can articulate myself, then... oh, and I could Brainstorm too. Huh. That's fine. They have Loam. I can only kill 1. I can only stop 1 Loam with Force Negation. Okay, so I do need to stop this. I'm going to Force of Negate. I'm going to pitch this Borrower. This further buffs our creatures. Now they still have a Loam in the yard that I'm going to have to deal with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and end step, go get my Sanctuary, and I'm going to put the Force back on top. It is by far the most important thing we are doing right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm as well. Further buffing these. Making good use of my mana. These are huge. Okay, and we'll just keep a Borrower. Yeah, we'll draw a Ponder. Okay, and I'll keep a Borrower on top for subsequent. So now we just have to Force of Negate their thing and we'll be fine. Okay, and I'm not going to bother attacking. I just have to hold. We just have to be patient. We hit their... Like, if they do get the Loam back, we just hit it with Force Negation. And then we're just waiting for Back to Basics to arrive. They have another stage, so they, in theory, they could cover 3 things. By 3 things, I mean, like, to turn around 2 different blockers in their maze. I'm going to go ahead and just ponder here. I'm looking specifically for Back to Basics. This is a shuffle. If I don't find Back to Basics, I shuffle. Play a land for turn. Now we're just going to pass. There's no point in attacking. They are dead on board if we can Back to Basics them after 1 attack. Because they're going to make it here. Oh, they're just going to copy that. That's fine. That is a legal play. So now they have even more protection. But Back to Basics will sink them here. I don't think they still have a Boseiju in hand. I think they have a Dark Depths in hand. And then 1 unknown. Unfortunately, I do have to force this pitching because I just don't have the mana. Because if they made Dark Depths... Well, let's think about this. No, we know they have a Dark Depths in hand. I'm not going to pitch. Because they can't attack me immediately. Come on, server. I've lost maybe 8 or 10 minutes to lag. Like, we were playing really fast, and this game has been really long because of the lag. I'm going to restart after this game, and hopefully that'll address it. This lag is specific to the deep packet inspection that the Chinese Great Firewall selectively does on traffic going through. As far as I can tell, it's unavoidable. Even when you're using a proxy and stuff, you're going to get some degree of lag. 7 minutes on the clock. We have plenty of time to win. We just need to find our Back to Basics, and we need them to not have a Boseiju. This further grows our squad. Okay, that is not the card we're looking for. We will pass. I'm not going to try to put these Brazen Borrowers and aggro them with that. I just don't think that's the right way. I'm afraid that they draw another Life from the Loam, and we just can't win. They have 2 Life from the Loams. We have 2 Back to Basics, but we are, potentially looking at a lot more cards than they are. Okay, Lorien Revealed. So if we go for this, they can instep kill us, which is not good. So we're never going to be able to go for this because we need to have mana up for Brazen Bar. So I'm just going to go ahead and cycle this to get an island. All right, come on, deck. Come on, server. All right, we don't actually have that many islands left. We got 1 left. I thought 8 was enough. Like literally every game action I'm taking is like 30 or 40 seconds. I don't know that I'm going to be able to win, even though I do think that like without time constraints, without the server problem, we'd be fine. It's just a question of whether they find their loan before I find my stuff. I've got tons of cantrips that I can actually cast. There's the last land. All right. And at this point, I will happily put back a Spell Pierce with Brainstorm. So I'm going to keep this. Okay, they're doing something. Exploration. That's fine. It shouldn't do anything as long as I can keep the actual problem spells off the table. The Loam. Planosphere. Well, I'm going to cast that. Now they're going to have to use all 3 of those mazes. Huh. I mean, it also increased my clock because now I have to pay 3 times. And each time is like maybe like 3 or 4 seconds. Expedition map. Then you'll get yet another thing. Like another Maze of Ith type card. I mean, like they should be playing to the clock here. They should recognize that like my server is like extremely laggy and that's their win con. So I'm not going to fault them if they win through just being extremely defensive. I don't have any Wasteland, so I can't stop Tabernacle. I was really hoping this league, like I've had it several leagues, like the lag comes and goes, but I was really hoping I'd be able to publish this league, but I don't want to publish if this is how the first round ends. I am going to keep these creatures around. It doesn't, assuming I don't hit lag, it's like a couple extra clicks. I'm using the hotkeys. Okay, can we draw a relevant card, please, deck? That's not a relevant card. Okay, so it looks like they're making it, and I am F6 currently, unfortunately. I decided to F6 just to save time, and now they decided to make it. Luckily, I do have double Brazen Borrower. That does get rid of one of the Maze of Iths. So let's go ahead and hit that with a Borrower. Triple hero token trigger. Okay, they're going to do a crop rotation here, which I will force. Pitching Spell Pierce. Okay, more hero token triggers. They only have 2 stages currently, but they can make a stage if they want. I will get an attack in here. Okay, is it dead? Or do they have something else? Okay. Expedition map, sure. And I have to hold this Brazen Borrower in my hand for the next volley. But I can play out a Brazen Borrower here. They got another Dark Depths. That's fine. They can make it a second time here. 1 minute, 50 seconds, counting down. All right, another Brazen Borrower. So we do have double Brazen Borrower up after we pay for these. Wait, what happened to... Oh, they got rid of the thing. Never mind. No, undo. Oh, no. I thought I was still paying for Tabernacle. Just attack all. I just need to get this game over. With double Brazen Borrower, there's no way they can win. It's just a question of how, like, whether I time out before they win. Yeah, okay, they're taking 6 here, it looks like. 1 minute, 13 seconds. Assuming I don't have server lag, I might be able to do it. I can use a Borrower and play a Borrower. I'm just going to do it. This is reckless, for sure. 57 seconds on the clock. I finally found my back to basics. Let's go in for our attack here. Attack with all creatures. Can't have 6 here. Okay, they stop the 15-15. They stop the 12-12. They take the rest. They go to 1. Make the Dark Depths token. If they have... like, I played extremely recklessly here. If they have crop rotation, I lose. They can give it protection if they have crop rotation. I'm just going to have 6 from here. The game's over one way or the other. Whoa. All right. Compliments to Alec and the Ink for not forcing me to do like the crazy clock thing. I think we had them beat handily. It was just the clock that was giving me fear. So I'm going to completely restart my system and hopefully it won't be an issue in the next game. See you in round 2. Right, round 2. We're up against a potentially rough matchup for us. The Ocelot Pride mid-range. I think this is a keep. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. We could like turbo them with Merc. I'm getting the server lag already. Oh, come on. Don't make me bail on this league. I just restarted my computer. I restarted the virtual machine. Everything. I can't think of anything else I can do. I spent like so much time trying to debug whatever's causing this. All right, we are back. We lost about 8 minutes. I think Dismember is actually something I want to keep here. I'm going to stack it like this, and I'll just take this card, and I'll draw one next turn. I don't want them to discard it or know it's coming. The most problematic deck or card against this deck is definitely Orcish Bowmasters, so we'll be looking to take that out. If we can buy time, Archmage's Charm could potentially steal something really good from our opponent. They made Thoughtseize here. Guide of Souls? Okay. All right. I think my instinct is to just go ahead and fill my yard. So I don't really need 2 Brazen Borrowers. I'm not convinced that it's going to be that great. I also don't want to take too much damage since I'm going to be casting these Dismembers most likely. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now. And I'm just going to kill this now. The reason I'm going to kill this now is I don't want them to gain life and then have it trigger. Like against aggro decks, in my experience, you just kill the first thing that hits the table. Like whenever you got these kind of like synergistic decks where every creature helps every other creature. Thoughtseize. They'll probably take Archmage Charm. They may take Merc if they don't have an answer for it. If they don't take Merc, they definitely have a Plow. Okay. So they have a Plow. We're going to need to find an answer for that. And then we can protect the Queen on Merc. Oh, they just have a second Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's going to take probably our Merc now. Okay. Our hand's not doing a lot. Huh, that's a good card. I'm going to cast it now before they can have Bowmasters. I know it's cowardly, but I just need to rebuild after everything we've gone through here. Okay, Planosphere is awesome. So what I can do is I can Planosphere, and then if they try to Bowmaster Planosphere, I can Dismember. But they know I have the Dismember. So I'm hoping that like double Planosphere, like even though they're a creature heavy build, that we can out creature them. They Surveil with the Backstreet. They seem to be fully dedicated to the black-white plan. If I can find a back to basics, it will seriously punish them because they do not need to be fetching this much black and white. I guess back to basics is not on their radar because they should have fetched a basic there. Karakas, Static Prison, it's fine. Taking the creature, that's fine. If they took the other thing, then I could get the creature back. But it's okay. I'm just going to play another next turn, and then I can equip them both to the same creature. I think Static Prison was in their hand earlier when they chose not to take my Merc. Static Prison has really cool art, too. I haven't really looked at it before, but like seeing that kind of gargoyle thing, like trapped, he seems pissed. He's like, let me out. I got to wreak havoc. The convenient thing about what they did with Static Prison is they don't actually need to use the energy. They can just keep it. They got rid of a permanent for 1 mana. So this card is pretty good in that respect. Like, it's free to just exile a token. And it's any permanent. It's not limited. So I may actually consider putting this in some of my decks. Like, I have a tokens deck, but it doesn't generate that much energy, and I'd just be kind of like worried. Okay, so this is pretty convenient. We can Planosphere. I think I don't ponder here because it walks right into Bowmasters. There's no reason for them to keep that other than like the City's Blessing. Marshallats. They're being extremely patient. Hopefully, maybe they're thinking they can ambush our hero in combat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ponder here because what I can do is I can Dismember the Bowmaster that is almost certainly coming out. I think Bowmaster's been waiting for a long time. Okay, they're letting us have it. That's good. I think these cards are mediocre. I do want the island, but I don't... Well, I guess I could take the island, the Lorien Revealed, and use that. Uh-oh, the lag has started again. Sometimes it's like fleeting. It just happens once. And other times it's just like from the point it starts, the rest of the match is just lagged for me. Again, I don't think this is MTGO's problem. They just have servers in the U.S. I don't believe they have any in like Singapore or anywhere near like East Asia. Like I'm in Japan, or I'm in China right now, staying with family for a while, and then I'm going to go to Japan. And this shouldn't be an issue once I'm outside of the Great Firewall, I think. I'm able to circumvent the firewall, no problem, using proxies. But there's nothing I can do to get around this issue. I tried everything. All right, we're back. I'm going to take this Lorien Revealed, and I'm going to immediately use it. Because I'll play it out. I'm going to ponder a second time here. This should make my hero a 4/4. I think at this point, maybe we do want a Force of Will to protect the Queen. Spell Pierce is not good. So now I have a way to protect her. And I'll just come in, and then I can also equip the other equipment to her next turn. I got Dismember to cut down anything that gets in our way. We're just going to try to beat face and close the game because we've got less than 10 minutes to win twice. I don't know what our opponent's doing over there. Like, they haven't cast very many spells, and I know their deck has tons of creatures in it. But they've already used just one of their removal spells. So I'm going to force this. Unexpectedly absent. I haven't seen this in a while. Buffs our hero further. I'm just going to hope they don't have more removal. So we're drawing a land. I'm going to fetch, and I can put a Archmage Charm on top. Or I can put Lorien Revealed on top. I'm going to go ahead and equip this here. Let's come in for a hug. Okay, is this a creature or is this a plow? So they can block 2 turns in a row. I think it's fine to just let them do that. I'm almost certainly going to put Archmage Charm on top. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Bowmaster. If they don't have removal, they are going to die here. Okay, wow, they scooped. Okay, that's good. So, yeah, that was very much a protect the Queen type scenario. So Torpor Orb definitely comes in. I think it's pretty good against their deck. Entering don't cause abilities to trigger. And I think Dress Down could come in too. I think Spell Pierce is pretty weak against them. Back to basics because they're so freaking greedy, like never fetching. So they play 3 plains, 0 swamps. So we can lock them off of black mana. I'm not sure that this is their exact list, but something similar to this probably. Yeah, I'm not sure what they bring in. They might bring in Rest in Peace. I don't think that's good against us, but they might bring it in. Back to basics really shouldn't be good here, but it might be good. It might be better, since their curve is so low, just to take this out and keep the Spell Pierces. I think it was aberrational that we were able to lock them down. I don't expect that to happen again. And when I say we were able to lock them down, I think it's unlikely that they lean so hard. And also back to basics is kind of like a long game thing. We don't have a lot of time. I'm going to scoop very aggressively if the game turns. Like if they get the Guide of Souls Ocelot Pride combo, I'll probably just scoop. Unless I have like a Murktide with a Force to protect it. This is a mulligan. This is a great hand. So I'm going to put back one of the lands. I'll probably put a fetch back just to preserve life total. It may be consequential. Okay, don't have the combo, please. Okay, they're thought seizing us. That takes Torpor Orb for sure. I'm going to go ahead and ponder now while the Bowmaster isn't around. These are great cards. I don't need the Misty. I will take the Merc now and the Dismember next turn. And we're just going to work toward a Merc. And if we can protect that Merc, we're going to. Guide of Souls is fine. Don't have it. Don't have it. Oh, that. Yeah, I think I just kill this. I could ignore it. If I ignore it, it makes all my subsequent removal useless. But I don't have that much removal. Yeah, I'm going to try to protect the Queen here. I think I actually go after the Guide of Souls here because that gains life in combos. I'm going to go ahead and fetch just on the off chance that they are playing opposition agent. I don't want to get caught by it. There's very little tactical value since I know I'm going to be shuffling to wait. Okay, and next turn we have a 5/5 Merc with Force Protection. And we just have to hope that gets across the finish line. But I don't know if they have any flyers in their deck. Historically, they haven't had any flyers at all. Okay. They play a land. Passing without play. If they have double removal, the game's over. If they don't, we have 3 turns. Right, that's not useful, really. I'll be more likely to... See, do we care about this? Just protect the queen. Now, cantrips are bad draws, but we are going to race them. Backstreet. Works in. Yeah, Borrower is weak to Bowmaster if they have a second Bowmaster. I'm pretty sure I do pitch Merc, though, because it's just so long before we're going to be able... Let's see. Yeah, without being able to cantrip, this is scary. Again, I'm just going to treat it like, Merc is going to eventually get the job done before they can get the job done. The last card in their hand. Disruptor Flute. Let that go. Even if they name Force, I can still just pay 3 and pitch cast Force. I wouldn't be surprised if Force was the card they named. Petty Theft. Okay, that's fine. Petty Theft isn't going to be good anyway because they have Mom. So now with their hand completely empty, we set to work beating them down. Planosphere is quite good. I'm going to play it out. It's a blocker. So what I'll do is I probably won't trade this time. I'll just wait. And they're going to get a bunch of cats, but I don't think they're going to be able to race me. Like this will get bigger. This Astrologians. We can actually move it over to the Merc. So the Merc gets bigger when we force. And that reduces us from a 3-turn clock to a 2-turn clock. But they're going to gain life with Ocelot Pride. Like, I can't imagine a world where they don't attack with Ocelot Pride. They're very close to the City's Blessing. Let's see. They've got... Yeah, they're actually going to get City's Blessing here. Nothing I can do about it. They have First Strike. Dark Confidant speeds up their clock. It also does damage to them. I think we just have to let it go. Now they have the City's Blessing. They get 2 of these things. All right. Now what I can do is I can force and I can put it back on top if I want to. I'm going to go in for a hug. And by putting it on top, I give it extra power. They may be able to gain enough life to survive here. Let's see what they flip. Thoughtseize. Okay. So they have Thoughtseize, 1 unknown. I think most likely here... Let's see, they can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can do 7. I don't want to block this because this might be able to kill them for me. 4, 5. Okay, they're tamping it back a little bit. I think I just let all this through. They just scooped. Wow. Yeah, that was exceptional. That felt great. All right, and we'll hope that the lag is slain and that we can keep moving forward. All right, round 3, we're 2-0. We're up against Goblins. This is a very dedicated Goblins player. It's basically all he plays. I'm going to just keep this island, and we probably will force a Vial. Yeah, we're going to force. It's the only thing we can force here. I'm going to keep the back to basics because I think it is possible we can lock them out. Archmage Charm feels a little aspirational to me. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to interact with our mana, but like if I can get them under back to basics, it's so good. Planosphere is actually probably worth playing out. Then next turn we have the Brainstorm. If they can kill this, it's okay. We can equip Merc to it. So if they have Explosives Engineer, for example, that's death for our creature, for our hero. Yeah, that's what they have. So, I mean, maybe I was not supposed to play that out. If we draw an island, we just slam back to basics. I want to make a land drop here. I think it is correct to play this, though. My reasoning is next turn we have Brainstorm. I think I just Brainstorm here. Okay, Spell Pierce is going back. Force is going back. They made it easy for us. So we're in basically the same position we were last turn, except now we don't have Brainstorm anymore. We can go ahead and stick this, though. Next turn we have back to basics, and a Merc can arrive after we've locked down the game. Don't have a mountain, please. They have 3 mountains in their list. Tap out. Just tap out for me. Come on. I'm going to take it. You know you want to do something here. Battle Cry. Okay. Okay, they're tapping out. Shirk Prospector. Okay. I think if we tap out, they're going to have a hard time getting enough mana to Muxus because they're playing their super greedy mana base. I love it when my mono-colored opponent decks Okay. So hear me out. If we whiff on back to basics, we're just dead. We're like straight up dead. Here's why. They can just sack everything and mux us. However, if we ponder, we get a stronger hero, but there is a chance we whiff. I think we take the safe route here. We back to basics now. And I'm just going to attack in anyway, because if I don't... In haste. Attack with 6 or greater. Okay, so this isn't going to be 6 or greater. I think we just kick it. They can attack with this battle cry. I don't think it's smart, and they can't attack with anything else. So we just lock down the game for a few turns. I will happily trade with the battle cry if they attack with it. Because I got a Merc. I doubt they're going to be able to deal with Merc if they don't have mana. Back to basics just randomly being insane. Love it. Blood Moon would not have been good here. But back to basics is insane. So, if I understand this correctly, there's no real benefit to trading here other than to reduce the material. If I wait, this thing gets gigantic. I want to take it. Because next turn I can ponder, buff this thing. If I find another cantrip, I can buff it further. Lorien Revealed allows us to do a lot here. I'm going to start with the ponder. Buff the hero. I don't want any of these cards. I'm going to any order shuffle. Because I've got Lorien Revealed. I want a cantrip. Okay, well that's not good. So I'll just not hit. Yeah, it's a bummer that we didn't hit anything. But like, I mean, we're in such a strong position. Who am I to be complaining? 1, 2. We'll leave Lorien in the yard. Okay, Merc's out. I think we start going to town on their life total. I don't think there's really any harm. Merc is so big that like they're going to have Mountain plus some sort of like Sting Scourger or something like that. I mean, they could, in theory, just sack a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this back to basics too strong. Torpor Orb, get in the deck. 4x Hydros. Thank you. We don't mess around up in the Be Excellent household. Cards that come out. Pierce comes out. I mean, I think Force could come out. It's pretty bad. Dismember feels bad, but I feel like it's necessary here. If we just remove the Force, I mean, Vial would have been really bad had we not been able to force it there. But we can steal Vial and use it for our own Vial plans. Actually, there's not really a lot we can do with it other than put Brazen Borrower in, which doesn't seem like a good deal. I'm going to live dangerously and take these forces out. Are they playing fetch lands? I believe they are. See, they don't have very many. They've got 6. So they may get stranded on lands that we can deal with. This hand is not spectacular. I feel like we can do better. This is better, for sure. I'm going to put back Ponder, because with Lorien Revealed and Brainstorm, we can change the texture of our hand completely. All right. Don't Thought Seize me, please. While powerful, I mean, we'll try to steal it later, I guess is the game plan. Dismember is a great rip. I'm just going to chill. I can end step Lorien Revealed, or I could even end step Brainstorm here. Another Vial. Back to basics is looking pretty weak here. They can also fetch an island, but Torpor Orb is good. The real risk is that they Vial in Lackey, and we don't have mana to defend. So I don't think we can Torpor Orb. Let's take an organic draw. Okay. I think I can just instep Brainstorm, shuffle. I'm not going to Torpor Orb because I fear Lackey. They have 3 cards in hand. Okay, they don't have Lackey. They don't generally play Bowmasters, so I think I can Brainstorm easy. Okay, Cavern. I'm going to Brainstorm here. That's a second basics that we don't need. I actually think it's fine to just use this Lorien Revealed as an island now, because it puts the sorceries in my graveyard that help me later. All right. Archmage Charm. I think we start with Torpor Orb. Then we can Dismember if anything too scary comes out next turn. We could Archmage Charm the larger of the Vials if we need to. I'd like to get back to basics in. So this turn, if the coast is totally clear, then we don't need to worry about... You have Lackey. Lackey's like the biggest thing I fear here. This Torpor Orb is freaking huge, by the way. It shuts off the most scary things their deck can do. So next turn, we'll be able to Lorien Revealed and continue to hold up Dismember. Lorien Revealed for land. Okay, that was so greedy. That was so greedy. I'm going to punish the heck out of that. Next turn, I'll back to basics. Assuming they don't have a blast. Munitions Expert, that's fine. It doesn't do anything. That does do stuff when they attack. End of turn. You know what? I needed to interact there. Sadly, I think I missed a window to interact. Because now they can do the haste thing. Yeah, I didn't have a stop. And it didn't occur to me. It didn't occur to me that I needed to stop there. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to dismember yet. Because, they can just do it in response. They know what they're... Well, actually, they don't know what they're drawing yet. Broadside is going to be a better target for my dismember. Okay, so I'll just dismember Broadside. We're still taking a ton of damage. But this needed to happen. They're down to 1 card. So we're about to... back to basics, which won't necessarily save us. But Merc might next turn. So let's go get the island. Let's back to basics. All right, so they can still violin stuff. They have to kind of guess what they're going to need in terms of they're drawing 1 card a turn, and they have to choose these before they get to draw. They don't have the mana to use Battlecry power again unless they draw a land for turn. But them drawing a land for turn means they're not drawing something better. Okay, they drew a land for turn. Okay, Vial coming in with Ringleader. That's hasty. Are they going to kill us here? Let's see. That's 8. That's very close to death. Oh, and they get the Goblin. So we're going to 1. Yeah, I think they killed us here. What could we do? So we Lorien. We get a land. We don't have the mana to both Archmage and Merc. Yeah, we fought hard, but they drew exactly what they needed to win there. Yeah, they used the entire whale, so to speak. I'm going to just run it back. Them playing so greedy into back to basics. Man, I really wish we had been able to punish them there. I don't think we made any mistakes. We did need to hold up because we would have died almost instantly had they been able to successfully attack. They would have gotten the creature immediately, the token immediately had the broadside been able to attack. All right, let's hope no mulligans this turn. There is a very real cost to what we're doing there. We could have, had these Lorien Revealeds been an island, I could have just played an island and then merked and used the ability. But they would have attacked all. I would have stolen one of their goblins and I would have blocked, but they still would have gotten a hit through, so we still would have died. It wouldn't have mattered. Not in that situation. But I like to point out the trade-offs. This is fine. It's not a great hand, but it's not bad. We can go get, we just Lorien Revealed. And then turn 2, we have Planosphere or Dress Down. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. And then I'll just do all that stuff in step. I'm going to Lorien Revealed. I'm going to save my cantrips because I might naturally draw a 2-drop that's good. Lackey can be turned off with Dress Down if I need to. Shirk Prospector, okay. All right, Sanctuary, not what we're looking for. I guess the question is the same thing we did in game 1 where we... do I want to just cantrip through this Dress Down? I don't want to put out Astrologians only to have it sniped. And I said earlier, I wasn't going to call it Astrologians. I was going to call it Planosphere. I think I'm just going to keep it Dress Down. They might have the blast. I can Dress Down end step. It doesn't affect my creatures at all. Actually, it does remove the Planosphere ability from this to gain counters. So I'll probably want to do this end second main so I can just quickly cantrip through it. But the dream is for them to sacrifice a bunch of stuff to get some powerful ETB trigger, and then I stop it. I started getting server lag. We have 14 minutes. I'm not too worried, but it's annoying that it crept back in. Everything was going great for a while. Ancient Tomb. Come on, sack it. Oh, Scarcer. So I can't actually stop this because this dies at the beginning. So their triggers go on the stack first. I'm not sure actually if this stops the trigger. I'm going to try it. So we get our card. Because this dies in the end step. And I think that might stop their trigger from going on the stack. My sack trigger goes on the stack first, but they're not even going to get a trigger because this is technically in play at the beginning of the end step. Okay, we stopped it. That was a good use of Dress Down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ponder for I want to brainstorm for a land because if I can put back the Sanctuary, it's so good. All right, this is great. So I'm going to put back Sanctuary. I'm going to put back second Archmage Charm. I don't think we need two of these. They're very mana intensive. Our opponent's playing Pyroblast type effects. So we have double Hydroblast up. So what I'm going to do, I'll pass to their turn. I'll see what they do, if they have any pre-combat plays, and then we can potentially Hydroblast this and something else. I'll probably Hydroblast it at the beginning of combat if they don't cast anything. Broadside. Postulate Mons. Whenever Postulate or another goblin dies, we don't want to deal with this guy. Because they can combo it with Shirk Prospector. Now they could theoretically sacrifice something to create red to Hydroblast. Man, that is some cool art. Okay, that succeeded. Now, pre-combat. I do want to get rid of this. I'll do it now. They can't cast unless they have a flash thing, and they wouldn't be able to attack anyway. I'll just grab my island here, and we're going to go ahead and just kill this thing. They have a whole handful of juiciness, but I just want to minimize their resources. I would snap slam a back to basics if I found it, even to deny them this 2 mana. And now we're in a place where we can Planosphere, and if we can chain cantrips somehow, I think it's unlikely, but we could get this fairly big. If we need to draw a land and then we need to cantrip into... We can always use Archmage next turn to draw a bunch of cards and get more counters on Planosphere, but... Okay, Merc. Huh. Do you want to just Merc? Merc's pretty big. I think it is Merc. I'm going to ponder first. Just try to line up a land drop. This is pretty good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll stack the Brainstorm on top. Now I'll just play this out. And I won't make it full size. I'll just go 1. No, I think I do want to make it full size. And this makes it look like I might have Hydroblast up even though I don't. 1, 2, 3. Leave something in. I just want to kill them. And if they don't have an answer to this, they're just dead in 2 turns. Make them have it, as they say. Next turn, we have Astrologians into Brainstorm. So we'll have a pretty big dude right off the bat. If they have Muxes, we're dead. Broadside, that's fine. They can attack. I am going to be hitting them a lot harder than they're going to be hitting me based on what's currently on the board. It may make sense to just hold up Archmage Charm and not Astrologians, because we may need to stop like a Muxus next turn, or... I mean, they can still throw something at this, but they need something that's 6. They could sack... They can't sack and boast, because once he's out... Battle Cry. That's fine. Okay. So we draw Brainstorms here. Brainstorm, rather. I think we just come in. We have the ability to Brainstorm and Archmage Charm to counter something. I think we probably use Archmage Charm to counter something if they have a way of dealing with this, or if they have a way to kill us. Let's see. So this makes them 3 plus 2. So 6. Then they can throw for an additional 2. I think we're still okay. The thing is they don't have any more red, so I'm not sure what I'm worried about. 6 plus 2, 8. Or 6 plus 4. I still think we're okay. They went out on their own terms, and we are 3-0. The deck feels incredible. See you in round 4. All right, round 4, we're 3-0. We are up against a likely... yeah, this is not going to work. Karnforge deck. This is better. This is better. So the plan here is very simple. We just keep dropping lands, force something essential, maybe pitching the Lorien Revealed, and then we eventually get a Merc out. Pedal, dump that hand. Invest everything into one big spell, please. Jealous. Think we just have to let that go. It is annoying, but I've got bigger fish to fry, and I can pitch this Ponder. Okay, Planosphere is good. So I'm just going to chill. I can intercept Lorien Revealed. Then we can get Planosphere going. Planar Nexus, they have 4 mana currently. One ring me. I'm ready. All right, let's go ahead and Lorien Revealed here. A lot of the things that like make Planosphere really good are shut off now by this Chalice, such as that Ponder that we just drew. But I do think it's correct to go ahead and get on the table. They are an Ancient Tomb deck. They can exile this with their, overpowered Kozilek command. If they do a big K command, I will force. Really, I just need to get cards in my graveyard so that I can, murk. I think that's how we're actually going to win. 3 mana in the pool. 6 mana in the pool. You're going to play around Days? Come on. I'm not playing Days. The sad thing is I may need to just yeet Ponders into this just to fill up my graveyard. Yeah, they played around Days. They were going to target player scries X and create a bunch of... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and force this. They spent a lot of mana on it. This buffs my hero. I thought they were going to exile the hero, but I guess it's not that big of a threat right now. It will be. Yeah, I mean, I can still buff it. Buff it like an investor. Go ahead and do that. Boom. It's countered, but we do get some Chalice goodness. Or some buff goodness. Let's see, we crack. Next turn, we can murk. I don't think we're going to win this one. Hope Springs Eternal. The important thing is getting their life total low slows down or limits what they can do with one ring. Trini, no problem. More land. Wow, you just have all lands? I feel super duper lucky. I will go ahead and fetch during the upkeep. Okay, Spell Pierce would be nice if we didn't have Chalice and Planosphere in play. Let's see, I could put a Force on top. I don't hate that. Let's see. So we fetch, we put Force on top. Then it's only a 5/5. I think we want to make it a little bit bigger. They are going to have enough mana that they can just exile with my Merc with kick. Yeah, it's going to be 3 either way, so I might as well just keep this up in case I want to get something back later. Keep up some mystery. All right, we'll come in for our hug. Now if they exile this, we can always move this over to there, but it's probably not that big of a deal. They are dead on board, basically, assuming we find anything. They could one ring here. Fleshraker is fine. That chumps for a turn. Do they have anything to use that with? They let the mana burn off, it looks like. No? Okay, they are going deeper. They are playing a key that just gets countered just to get a dude. That's dramatic. I don't know that I agree with that play. I do want to fetch the Thin here because I'm not going to be able to brainstorm. Oh, I think we have to ponder here. It sucks. It grows. Now, any sort of things can make this attack for 7, but it doesn't really matter. They're just going to block with the spawn, I presume. They have plenty of mana to cast one ring next turn. And they could probably win if they find a one ring even from 2 life. Because then once they use this mana to play the one ring, then they have access to all this other mana. Because it won't be painful. Wow, we won. Did not expect to win that. All right. So this is a Force Negation and Dress Down matchup. They do have Urza Saga in their deck. In terms of cards that suck against them, Dismember is pretty terrible. I don't think it's worth it to be able to kill that thing. Everything else is pretty good. Archmage Charm may be able to steal something from them. Being able to counter spells is non-trivial, especially if they get a Planosphere out. Then this just becomes like basically like it's not any different from any other counter spell effect. We could trim a Spell Pierce on the draw. It is a good card, but it gets locked down with Chalice, and it's a little slower. These other cards are not affected by Chalice. In fact, we only have 11 1-drops in the deck. That's very good in terms of Chalice. Okay, this hand's fine. Nothing to write home about, but I'm not going to throw it back. This Pierce is doing heavy lifting here, though. But the Brainstorm will be able to shuffle away the Sanctuary, and maybe one of the other like excess lands we're likely to draw. Urza Saga. Okay. Shadow Spear. Borrower does cleanly answer one of the constructs. Unfortunately, they're not likely to cast anything this turn. They're likely to just make constructs, so I won't be able to pierce anything. So I may do the rare mana inefficient brainstorm at the end step. And then if I find a Lorien Revealed, then I can just shuffle anyway. These are good cards. I'm just going to put back the Sanctuary. I'll redraw this land. Yeah, and then we can shuffle and we can dress down after they've made all the constructs. That'll be good. Yeah, these were phenomenal cards, actually. Now, the more I look at the hand, the more I realize, oh, wow, that's damn good. All right, so here comes the first one. And you have to do it before they equip with Shadow Spear with the... otherwise, it has a 1/1, so it won't die. Okay, and I'm just going to definitely shuffle, or definitely fetch here. And next turn, we're going to go ahead and slam the Back to Basics. I'm hoping what they do is they play out a land and they tap it to equip Shadow Spear to this. Manifold Key. Urza's Tower. Come on, you know you want to equip the Shadow Spear. Well, I'm not going to take this 4. So good. Dress down, still so good. Drew an Archmage Charm. We could use that to steal their Shadow Spear later if we need to. Gain some life while we're swinging at them. All right, we're close to Merc. I meant what I said when I said I was going to lock down their lands. This card is very good against them. Workshop. They only have 2 mana up. I think if they played like a monolith, I would force that. Because it would represent tons of mana. They don't seem to have it. That's great for us. So options. I think I just want to Merc. It's not going to be big. And it might be better to just chill. Like a 4/4 Merc, what does that even do? It gets bigger when we jam our next one. I think it's fine to get the clock going. I'm going to keep a Spell Pierce up. I think it'd be greedy to not do so. So this is just a 4/4. Not really any bigger than a Brazen Borrower. But harder to get rid of than a Brazen Borrower for sure. They will need a lot of K command mana. Okay, so now they have a lot of mana, but it's a one-shot. So they don't actually have Metalcraft, so this only taps for 1. That is a force. I'm going to pitch the Brazen Borrower here. And then I'm going to hope that, we can Spell Pierce something else. Archmage Charm is really good. Like, it can just draw us into action later. So this is tap down forever, basically. Unless they have a way to clear this, which I doubt they do. Okay, that's great for us. Okay, Ponder. I think I do want to Ponder here. These are all really strong. I think I just take the... Yeah, I mean, at this point, Archmage Charm is really good. So I'm just going to take that. I'll play this out. We'll come in for our hug. So we have Archmage Charm and Pierce up. I don't think they're going to be able to get through our defenses here. Another Urza's Tower. That's a very good land to draw. Gives them another burst of mana here. I'm going to let that resolve. That's not the fight. I don't think that's the right card to be casting, frankly. They can tap this now for 1, 2, 3 mana if they want to. Let's draw a couple cards. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any reason... Oh, we could gain control of their Shadow Spear and then equip it. Does 1 extra damage. I think I'm better off just drawing a couple cards. Yeah, I'll just chill. Force Negation. Yet another counter spell effect. We just need to keep them on the ropes for like 2 more turns. We have Hardcast Force of Will up if we want to put it on top, but I don't think that's the fight here now that we have Archmage. Let's see. Do I want to go and borrow? I think I do. It's just like one more thing that they have to worry about. Oh, can I Archmage and just... I think I can kill him now. So I Archmage, I take the Shadow Spear, and then I equip it and we hit him for 8. Hopefully this isn't like super greedy and we don't lose the game, but I'm pretty sure we're going to just win. Oh, we need to tap 1 more mana. I didn't realize it was 2 to cast. I haven't played with one of these since 8 cast. I did play with 8 cast for like 1 day, and I was like, this isn't my thing. And then I later sold all my Moxes and stuff after they appreciated. Oh, they do have mana. What are they doing here? Okay, we won. That was a clean 2-0. This is our league. I'm feeling great. Let's see if we can get the trophy. See you in the final round. All right, final round. We're 4-0. Let's see if we get this trophy. This hand looks good. We're against an unknown opponent. I believe they're a fair gamer. They mulled a 6. We have a force hand just in case they're unfair, but I think this is going to be one of those Murktide, Protect the Queen type games. Misty. Pass. Okay, I'm not sure what we're up against. So I'm not sure if I should Ponder here. I kind of want to Ponder just to get in underneath. What if they are on Reanimator, though? Oh, wait. This deck does not need to go fast. We can take our time. We're a control deck. Okay. They could be on like Stifle Knot here. Could be on Beans. Underground Sea. All right. That is some pretty strong Bowmaster vibe. So I'm not going to cantrip at all. I'll just wait. I will Island just in case I want to shuffle away. Like if I get a chance to brainstorm. Like if they put a Bowmaster on the stack, I will brainstorm. Wasteland. Okay. Stoneforge. Oh, it's Stoneblade. Okay, so usually I do force this. We have a redundant Merc. I don't want to deal with this. It's a powerful 2-for-1 effect. We could see what we're going to draw, just in case we draw like... Okay, so we have Spell Pierce. If they force back, I am going to force. I'm going to put back one of our Mercs. I was going to pitch force pitching Merc. I'll just do it like that, and now I am going to force it. And I will pitch the redundant Ponder. And then we have two different kind of like paths to victory here. We could redraw one of the Ponders. I think that's fine. I think I stacked it to where I'm going to redraw Ponder. I stacked it to where I redraw Island. That was a punt. I'm tempted to just go ahead and get Planosphere operational here and maybe even Ponder after it goes down. Because we get the trigger. Okay, this is in. I'm going to go ahead and fetch the island now. I know there's a Ponder on top. I could hold it with the Spell Pierce. But if they're playing Stoneforge... Oh, no. I don't think it's correct. I think I need to chill because if they play a Planeswalker, I need to be able to pierce that. Yeah, it sucks. But I feel like I have a window to not... I should have just left the Ponder on top and not shuffled. That was a misplay. If this is Teferi, I'm going to be so glad I held up my mana. If it's another Stoneforge, I'll be sad. Brainstorm's fine. Hopefully they feel some urgency to do something here. Another Tundra. Back to basics is going to be huge if we can get to it. Please play it, Teferi. That would make my day. I'm going to keep this around. It buffs. If you want to interact, that's okay. They daze. Okay, so we do get to keep the creature, but we lose the equipment. So we can hit him for 2 here. All right, I'm going to Ponder. So none of these cards really do anything for us. I think we shuffle. Like a Brainstorm would be great. I feel really dumb to have stacked my... Oh, that's pretty good. I think we do want to go ahead and get in with the Merc first. Unfortunately, I can't Merc and put something on top of my deck. I would like to put a Brainstorm on top of my deck. But then... Oh, wait. Yeah, if that's actually fine. So what I do is I just Brainstorm first. And my Merc will be smaller, but I will get a Brainstorm on top. Actually, that's kind of dangerous. Because they could have Bowmaster. Yeah, I think I just made yet another mistake. I'm just going to... I'll take the Brainstorm. And if they play out a Bowmasters, it's going to suck. But I want to be able to get the most out of my hand here. So it's just going to be a 6/6. But it should still kill in the same number of turns. If they have their own Merc and mine smaller, it's going to be embarrassing. Because they can make theirs a 6/6. A lot of Stoneforge decks don't play it. Also, I did subject myself to Wasteland. But I'm actually fine with that here. Because they're going to need their lands to claw out of what, like the threats I presented here. They may just have Plow. Yeah, there's the Plow. If they have Bowmaster, it's pretty devastating. I think I'm going to come in for a hug first. No, I'm going to play this first. I'll just come in for my hug. Now that this is in, Brainstorm can happen at any time. So I'm going to time it around Bowmaster. I realize that by waiting on the Brainstorm, I'm giving my opponent an opportunity to potentially find it. This is a window for me to go ahead and Brainstorm. I'm going to take it. Because this gets double counter and I get to choose the next few cards. Lorien Revealed would be great. There it is. So we've already lost our Mystic Sanctuary. I mean, Brainstorm is pretty good if they don't have exactly Bowmaster. They would need a black land plus a Bowmaster. I think what I do... but they could have Thoughtseize. I think we'll go like that. I'll keep the Lorien Revealed in hand. and I'll just stack them like this to where I draw the brainstorm. Then if they Thoughtseize me, they won't realize how vulnerable I am. I don't think they're going to have the black mana to do any of that stuff. I think I'm over fixating on stuff. If they do have a Bowmaster or something like that, or a Narset, heaven forbid, then I can just shuffle away my top 2 cantrips with Lorien Revealed. That sucks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's really bad. So we're sitting here doing nothing, but our opponent isn't doing anything either. We just need to find the freaking back to basics, and we tap. Then the game's over. All right, here's what I think we do. I think we put back Ponder. We put back land. Next turn we draw land, and we can Lorien Revealed. This way, if they have like a Planeswalker, we can at least counter it. Please give me something I can counter here. Oh, so backbreaking. They can go get Kaldra. They can get a lot of stuff. They don't have anything in their yard to target. They could get Crypticoat here. Pre-war. Yeah, there's nothing to target with pre-war. I don't know why you got that. So wait a second. Did I do this? No, we just draw the land off the top, and then we Lorien Revealed. Yeah, we know that they don't have an answer to it. So we're going to fetch an island, and they're still very vulnerable if we can manage. We have 5 of these in our deck. I'm a huge believer in Lorien Revealed. The card has been really good for me lately. There's the back to basics. Okay, so we also have double Spell Pierce, so I'm pretty sure that if they tap out, we can do a lot. Oh, they do have a Stoneforge Mystic. They can get back another one with this. True Name is annoying. I can't do anything about that. I am at 27 life. Okay. So we do have lots of mercs that can fly over True Name. If True Name starts going sideways, we can race. But they can... I was wrong earlier when I said there's nothing to target. I didn't see that they do have a Bowmaster or a Stoneforge in there. See what we draw here. All right, Archmage Charm doesn't do anything right now. Back to basics. And then I'm just going to Ponder for velocity, and I'll keep up the double Spell Pierces. They're like Force of Wills for the rest of the game. Borrower, these are fine. If we just Borrower 2 turns in a row, I think we'll win. Because they're going to be taking a lot of damage in the air. There's no way they can race us. Yeah, I think this is fine. I mean, I could shuffle this away and try to find a Merc, but Brazen Borrower will do the trick. We are going to win the race. Let's just pass. It's not exciting, but I just want to win. If they find a land, they could, potentially have blue and white. Like, we have 4. That's fine. Okay. I'm just going to... I can wait. There's no reason to do it now. Yeah, because I'm not going to equip it now. Because I need to keep the Spell Pierces up. And let's see. They're hitting for 4. We're hitting for 6 each turn. I do think we win the race. I maybe should have slowed down to do the math. So we're at 18. Yeah, we're definitely winning the race. I'll just attack, and I'll pass, and then I'll do the other Brazen Borrower in the end step. Once I'm certain I don't need to counter anything. I mean, I could equip, and it's too cute. Let's just go with the much more likely to succeed, even though it's unexciting line. Okay, they come in. Okay, force. I'll pierce it. All right, we're in. Planosphere is a play we can make. I don't think it hurts. I'm trying to imagine how playing this Planosphere somehow causes to lose. I can't. My server started chunking again. This is the final match. Don't do me dirty. I'm going to need all my clock. Oh my goodness. Come on, MTGO. Okay, it's in. And they scoop. All right, welcome back, my excellent friends. I apologize, but OBS, the tool I use to record my screen, got screwed up somehow, and it did not record video for the final round. So we did win. We got the trophy. You're not going to be able to see my reaction to getting it because it was just a static screen. I don't think it's worth listening to the audio of me playing for like a pretty short game, but it's just a static screen. So what happened was my opponent got Brainstorm locked, and I just proceeded to punish the heck out of them with Spell Pierces and tactical forces on cantrips and stuff like that, and keep them low resource, and then I beat him down with a Merc. So we only lost 2 games that entire match. Just to recap, we played against Alec in the Ink, super chill person who was very patient with me. We lost the first game of the entire league. I just scooped immediately before I even took my turn because they had an extremely unstoppable start of Mox, and Loam. And then we proceeded to win the subsequent games despite the network issues. Alec in the Ink was super chill and did not be kind of like a clock bully to me when he realized that I was having a lot of connectivity issues. Then we faced Scissorman, Meat Pie, which I can't remember what they were on. Then we faced Goblins, and then we faced Karnforge, and then Esper Stoneblade in the final round. So that was a gauntlet. I mean, to be able to beat all those different types of decks definitely feels really good. So let's talk about the list. I think everything's fine. I don't have any changes I would make. We'll see what gets banned. The bannings would affect the sideboard a little bit. The bannings are June 30th, 2025. And we expect pretty much everybody in the community expects Oops All Spells to not be a deck anymore. And we're hoping that they do something to trim Blue-Black Reanimator back down. They keep banning and it keeps becoming 20% of the meta again because it's fundamentally broken, and I will continue to advocate for just banning Entomb. I know it's an old card and you don't want to ban old cards, you just want to ban new cards, but like it's fundamentally just too powerful in my humble opinion. They need to reban it. And then so until they do that, we're stuck with like 4 graveyard anti-graveyard spells to be able to stop Reanimator. And then we also have to play a bunch of forced negations so we can stop them from Thoughtseizing the Gravedigger's Cage out of our hand before we get our turn to play it. So these are 7 cards that like we probably will still play some Graveyard Disruption, but like you could free up potentially 3 or 4 slots depending on the bannings. But I think the main deck is fine. And the main deck is really good because I like Spell Pierce right now. I think if you're not playing Thoughtseize, which we're not playing it because we're mono blue, Spell Pierce is the next best thing. And you do want to be playing enough stack interaction. I loved Archmage Charm. It came up so many times. We were drawing cards, we were countering stuff, and we even got to steal a Merit token. How cool was that? And I think, there was one play where I stole a Shadow Spear, and I was able to equip it and get lethal a turn earlier than normal. That was a cool, fun play too. Dismember is just like, I know people are bristling like, it's so bad. You're paying so much life to be able to kill something. It doesn't even necessarily kill a lot of stuff. Like Baragwave can be a 5/6 and it just doesn't work, right? So I do think you need to have removal. There were lots of situations. There was a situation where we had to dismember one Bowmaster and then force another just to be able to get out from under the thumb of Bowmaster. That came up. I think that, and we won that game if I recall correctly. So there are lots of situations where I think we dismembered a Broadside Bombardier as well. That it comes up a lot. Obviously, Murktide was our main way of closing, but Murktide is really just symptomatic of like we played the game well and we survived. And now we're in a position where we can just close real quickly. We did Protect the Queen a few times on Murktide. Astrologian's Planosphere, just insane card. I think this is a great addition to kind of a mono blue control strategy because it leaves the element around and it triggers itself. So like it's a non-creature spell. So when you play the second one, it buffs the first one. There's just so much cool synergy here, and the ability, like we're drawing lots of cards. We've got we've got so many cantrips, but this Brainstorm by itself draws you your 3rd card. This Archmage Charm by itself, if you use the double draw trigger, so there are lots of ways. Of course, Lorien Revealed, gluing our entire deck together, making sure that we made our land drops every turn, which was absolutely pivotal to our success. Like you can't really convert card advantage into actual like board advantage and stack advantage if you don't have the mana to be able to deploy your threats. And the fact that we play so many islands was really critical during that lands matchup. There was like a time when I needed to be able to hold up Brazen Borrow, and I also needed to pay for Tabernacle, and I needed to be able to do stuff, and just having a ton of unwastable lands was really clutch there. So I'm going to play some more leagues with this. I'm really proud of this brew. I think Archmage's Charm is a card that like only makes sense in a mono blue shell, but if you're playing a mono blue shell, it just makes so much sense. And it's just so, good with Astrologian's Planosphere. So I think this list is basically set. Like I don't have any recommended changes I would make after this league. I played a few other leagues with different variants, like without Dismember, and I just got crushed. I think Dismember is the thing that like made this league possible. I think without Dismember, you're relying on Brazen Borrower, and it's just not good enough. And Murktide will often be good enough to like just kill your opponents before they can go wide, like with the Goblins matchup. Like I think both the games we won were Murktide coming down and just slapping them around before they could get their kind of like value engine online with all the different creatures. I think 4 Hydroblast is clutch. Like, I think these are really solid. These are going to be good against Delver too. Not that we have a bad Delver matchup. Like, I played against Delver with Archmage Charm, and it's just such a joy to like instant speed yoink one of their Delvers and like throw it in front of their other Delver, their DRC or something like that has to attack. It's such a joy. Back to Basics continues to just be amazing. Don't leave Budget Land without it. I will close by saying that I hope you're enjoying these legacy budget videos. I made a video with like like a $7,000 or $8,000 deck the other day that has like 2 Tabernacle and like 8 dual lands and stuff like that. Mox Diamonds. It's gonna show up soon in the feed. It's a Uro Pox deck, and it was so fun. But it's nice to go from like $8,000 deck to a $600 deck that does really well. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying these. If you want to access all of my videos before they go live, I've got tons in the queue that are just kind of going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. Texas time. If you want to be able to just watch all those now and watch all my future videos as I upload them instead of when they come live, because sometimes I'll sit down, I'll just do like a batch of like, I don't know, like 8 videos, and then I'll go and travel. Like I'm going to go to Japan. I'm not going to be recording while I'm in Japan probably. So you can just access those immediately. Just become a member. You can also just subscribe and tell your friends. But if you become a member, I think it's like $5 a month US, and it'll be different depending on where you are. But that is going to go toward my Eternal Weekend Fund. Like if I have enough funds, I'm going to be able to convince my wife that I can go to the Yokohama Eternal Weekend as well. I've always just gone to the Pittsburgh one. And it'd be cool to be able to go there and like play in the Japanese tournament as well. And represent the US with pride over there. And also to just like hang out and be able to use my Japanese skills, which I'm going to be using in a few weeks when I'm in Tokyo, Shinjuku. There is a tournament center called the Haruya Tournament Center where you can play Legacy 4 times a day. They have 4 3-round league type tournaments every single day of the week. And on Sunday, they have this thing that's like 5-round. It's bigger stakes. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 2 of the 5-round ones, and then I'm just going to do a ton of 3 rounds throughout the week. It's just, everybody's super chill. If you haven't been to Japan yet, like, people are super chill. Just go to Shinjuku, stay in a hotel nearby there, and just go to the tournament center and grab your, food at the convenience store and just be ready to, like, get destroyed by some of the best players in the world. So much fun. So I'll leave it there. I hope you have a fantastic day. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.